Welcome to Keeping It Real with Jen Godfrey. What about, okay, so now I know we're kind of going over here, but like, what about your life now? I mean, you're thriving. You look amazing. You're
Oh,
beautiful.
thank
We're
you.
growing. You are doing this on your own, which I mean, looking at it, Nicole, like I know that you had him and you had it must have felt better to know that you maybe had his support at the time, what you thought was support. But when you look back at it and the way I see it, is this all military thing, it kind of prepared you because you kind of were doing it on your own already. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it prepared me to do it. It was nice to have that security there. I mean, it is a huge benefit for children to have a father present. It's huge for them. And so I can't even explain how important it is. It's like a very important security that they need throughout their lives. So if you can make it happen, make it happen. And if not, then it's understandable because I'm great and I didn't have a dad. So, I'm good. I'm good. We're not all bad. But because
No, and I mean, you make up for both sides. I mean, and your kids know that. And I think they're going to have such a big respect for you and women, like in
yeah.
general. I mean,
Yeah. I'm pretty much honestly, my life is pretty simple. I wake up, I work out, I pre-make dinner for the most part, or I'll spend time with some of my really close friends. I only have like a couple of amazing friends. I know a lot of people, but it's more like I only want to be around a few people that I
that's
really
exactly
know.
how I am.
Yeah.
I have acquaintances, but I don't have a lot of friends
Yeah, I'm a
at all.
I'm a popular loner. I really,
Yeah.
really wanna talk to, like, just a few people that fill my soul. We grow together, we evolve together, we motivate one another. Like, they are just beautiful people and good for my spirit. So I'll do that, and then, I do my mom thing, I'm dating. So, like, I'm
How is the dating life now? Tell me about it, because 'cause it's been a while. Like, obviously, but how has that been for
it's
you?
been a
Is
while.
it fun?
So, yeah, I just wanna, like, make it clear, like, I the whole divorce thing, that's far removed. So,
Yeah, well, that was a while ago,
I'll
we
take a
got
little
into
time
it,
to
but
heal.
as you should, live your life. Tell me, feel me,
Okay, I
because
have so many
I'm
opinions
married
on this.
still, so I don't even yeah, I don't know.
I have so many opinions on this, so I'm just gonna try to, like, it's gonna be kinda like word vomit.
Do it.
But, like, back like I said, back in the day, it was, like, a little bit more traditional. People weren't so, like, ambiguous. There wasn't so many options, truly dating right now, it's actually terrifying. It's not even a heartbreak. It's confusion and weird behavior, and people aren't dating anymore. They're sampling. And, I tried to date. I really did. I was like, let me get back out there. And then I was like, immediately, no. It's just a lot of options and somehow no real options. And, I want to say this is something I want to say, like, we're in a really overstimulated world. And, you've got, I'm just going to say it. I'm going to talk really candid on here. Is that okay?
Do it. Yeah, it's
We're
keeping
in
it
a
real.
really overstimulated world, especially with men. You got OnlyFans, you got dating apps, you got constant access, constant swiping, constant novelty. And that does something to your brain. Like, real connection cannot compete with unlimited options. And it's not even their fault all the time, but it is their responsibility. And you just can't build depth with anyone if you're addicted to variety. I'm going to just say that. And I like to keep things real simple. I don't like people enough to keep starting over. And I
Yeah.
also don't have the bandwidth to keep reintroducing myself to people who aren't serious. My discernment plays a big part in this. Not everybody's bad though. I got somebody making me
Okay, well,
no.
my thought on dating right now is scary, and I know you're gonna find the right guy, and I know that you will. But this is what I would think with all the media outlets and stuff like that that we have. Like even back in the day, like I met Todd on Match, right? Because I don't
Oh,
drink
that's
and I
real.
was out of college, and so I was like, how do I meet? And so Todd and I met on Match, and this was back in I don't know 2012 or 13 or whenever we met, but I thankfully, like, we just didn't have I think Tinder had, like, just come out. Nobody was on Tinder yet because that was, like, the app that only people went on if they wanted to hook up really quick or
Yeah.
whatever, you know? So, you actually paid, and if you paid, then people were pretty serious on the paid apps,
Mhm.
right? To date or whatever. But I feel like now is it just weird to date? Because my question to you is, how many weird with all this, like,
Mhm.
you, like, we're all equal. I'm not a guy, but I'm a girl and I'm this and I'm that and I don't identify. Like, I'm sorry, but like are there still really like good men out there that are real men that are chivalrous that like know how to be a man, that know how to like, okay, I'm going to like open the door for you. I'm
Yeah,
going to
definitely.
Are there still men like that?
Yeah,
Okay.
there are. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna say it. I don't like people enough to do dating the way many people do it. I'll like date a few and then I'm like, and no.
Yeah.
But I just noticed like as far as like the swiping and stuff goes, it got so overwhelming. I've noticed about me is that I can't enjoy anything when I'm overstimulated. So, too much noise, too many people, too many options, it dulls everything for me and it takes it away from me. And even in relationships, if you remove all the outside distraction, you actually start to really crave that person more and become so obsessed with them all over again. And I think that, like, I guess scarcity, it creates more appreciation, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, it does. Absolutely.
And they're not all bad. I've got somebody making me smile quite a bit right now. So that's all
Oh,
I'm saying.
good.
Happy.
Yay. You deserve it.
No, so I think I'm in a I think I'm doing it right at this point. But I can't handle everybody grabbing at me like it's too much. So
Okay, so I have to tell you, I have a friend and they
Mhm,
live in Summerlin, right? And she's wait, no, where's she? Peruvian.
mhm.
And so she's very fluent in Spanish and stuff. She's beautiful,
Wow,
beautiful girl.
I'm jealous.
And she and her husband, and I've been a friend of mine for a long time. But anyways, they go to the strip every once in a while to go do their nice dinners or things like
Mhm.
that. And she said that they don't even go down to the strip anymore because of the gang banging is so bad, and she's fluent in Spanish, so she can walk through the casinos, and she said that is it the MS-13 or whatever, the bad gang from I don't know, that
Oh,
you know what I'm talking about?
I think so, yeah.
The train gang or whatever they call it, L train or whatever. She said that they were, like, grabbing at her and, like, they were and they were at a nice restaurant, like, and I was like,
That's
"What?"
terrifying. That is
Yeah,
absolutely terrifying.
and so they don't even go down anymore, but I was and she's married and she's gorgeous, but I'm just going like, are you like, is that how men are? Because 'Cause you're saying they're grabbing. I mean,
Oh,
I
sorry.
guess
I
to
mean,
see
like, just
that.
trying to when you go on Hinge, it's or whatever you wanna call it, because I don't really go out a lot to just meet people,
Yeah.
because I am pretty I'm pretty busy.
Yeah, well, yeah,
But
yeah.
it's overwhelming. When I say grab at me, grab for me, meaning, like, they're just, like, the people reaching out, it's like ding, 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 ding. And then
Mm.
it kinda turns me off because I really like guys that are just hidden and out the way, like the city's best kept secret. I want somebody who's good looking and is super confident. I need a really confident man. Like, that is so attractive to me. I don't even think it's conceited like I want you to be. I want you to know you're God's gift, truly. And, because a secure person is a good person for me. I don't wanna deal with insecure nonsense from someone again. I want
You
to
don't wanna be someone's mom and, like, tell
Yeah,
them how to do yeah,
yeah.
no. Mm.
I had gotten in a relationship after my divorce for, like, 6 months, and he was, like he was so hot, but I don't understand why he, like, he didn't want me to go anywhere, he didn't want me to do anything, and I'm like, "Honey, you had the wrong one for that, because 'cause I'm going to live my life, and don't make me feel like you don't trust me. Like, what are you up to?" You should make
Yeah, right?
a girl like a lunch with my friends. I'm not out at the clubs, but he was, like, so insecure for whatever reason, and he had no reason to be. So that's why I want a really confident man, and it comes from in here. It's not even so much about what's out here, it's about your mentality and who you are. And somebody easygoing. I don't wanna deal with somebody tightly wound like the general. That was exhausting. So I want
I
someone
could
who's
see him
chill.
being very yeah, he was very
He was tightly wound, he was.
yeah.
He was, like, so opposite of me, which is why, like, I'm so grateful I have a second chance, and, I just want my energy to sink in with somebody else's, but I am moving real slow what I'm doing because, like, I just and also keep a lot of things private because it's so hard whenever you start releasing little information here and there in opinions form when I need to make up my own opinion. And I think the one thing I'm guilty of is I observe a lot. I'll observe to the point of no return until I've came up with exactly what it is I know or what I need to know. And it's not in it's not like I'm trying to play anybody or get them to play themselves. It's just that I am watching so I can see all of your mannerisms. How are you with this person, that person, the next person? How does your mind work? What makes you tick? How motivated are you? Is this a facade? Is this a mask? Where are your emotions? Do you wear them on your sleeve or are they somewhere deep in here? And yeah, like, do you have a bad temper? Do you not? Are you a cheater? Which sometimes you'll never know. I'm going to tell you that much. They say they're signed. Sometimes there are no signs.
No, I do think too, once a cheater, I do agree with that. Once a cheater, always a cheater. Even if you forgive the person and they can
Mhm.
like admit it, I
Yeah,
would personally I'm like you. I want to be able to trust everybody out of the gate. And if I do try and I feel like we're all adults. I feel like I should be able to trust you. Like, obviously, if you're like a tweaker and you're, then you could see like maybe that person's not someone I want to hang out with. But like, if you're going to be in a circle where I feel like I can talk to you and we're going to try, I do think that there's a lot of people that just hide a lot. It's
they
surface
hide
based
so
and I see through it, really quick. Even
much.
taught I mean really quick. And I definitely think that it's good to have your guard and you should. You have a lot to protect. You have businesses, you have your children,
Yeah, that's
you
an
have mind, body, soul, like everything. Like
yeah.
cherish it. We only get one life.
Exactly. That's why, like, even when dating, you have to be careful to not do anything, to not like give your body to someone too soon, or anything like that.
Mhm.
You gotta be careful, and sometimes people will not want anything to do with you if you do that, but like I said, I've only dated a few people though, to be honest, again, because 'cause I'm not a serial dater because I don't like people enough, and I'm truly
Mhm.
too introverted and exhausted with reintroducing myself because it feels so ass backwards. I know some women would love that and embrace that, and I'm not mad at it, like, really live and let live is my motto. I love everyone for whatever the hell it is they wanna do. I'm not judging, I'm just chilling. I'm working on
Yeah.
what I wanna do, but, like, this thing about dating and relationships and marriages that for real just gets me when it comes to infidelity is everything is a choice. You spending tomorrow with me, you spending the next day with me is a choice. A person isn't just a good person. You have to continue to do good. You have to continue to choose me. Choose me on a bad day, choose me on a good day. Be honorable. Don't give in to your flesh. If you have a problem, fix it. Water your grass. It has to be watered on both parts. Sometimes one person has to be more in love than the next person and pull them back in, and vice versa, especially when you're married. Like, you have to constantly fight for keeping your relationship close. It requires an
It
effort like no tomorrow. But people will
it is a choice, and I do think that it's work. I feel like and I think that that's true, Nicole. I think it's true to business. I think it's true, like, for me, for my sobriety. I feel like it's true for relationships, like anything.
Mhm.
It's work. It is a lot easier to go and take a drink than it is to not take a drink, in my opinion. I think it's a lot easier to give in to temptation than to, stay true to yourself. It's easier to go and wanna be cool with the popular people because you wanna fit in than to say, "You know what? Like, you guys go and" Yeah,
Exactly, like,
it is. It is, like, staying true to your and I see it, and I know that you are true to yourself, and I'm excited to see you flourish even more, and I know that the right person is going to come in, and, like, a year from now, we're probably gonna talk about it and watch this, look back and be
I
like,
know,
"Oh my
I'm gonna
god."
be like, "Oh my god," and, the thing too is, like, it really thank you, and it really always is gonna take 2 people. It's never it's unfair if one person's just letting themselves go and get sloppy and stops doing the things that made you fall in love with them. It's a crime it can be a crime on both parts, right? But
Yeah.
the crime that to me is, like, the worst of the worst is giving somebody or not giving somebody the opportunity to choose. Like, I'm feeling this way. I'm starting to feel tempted to do these things. And I want you to be aware of that. So you have a choice. You can walk or you can stay, but don't do things behind my back. And you're just denying me to exercise my choice, of wanting to be down with you and your shenanigans. So people are really grimy in that sense sometimes. And I just think that people need to really pour into each other more. If you want something, you need to work hard to keep it. And if you want to be honorable, be that because I don't want the karma of betraying somebody on my back because
Mm.
something you can't outrun. You can't outrun that. You cannot outrun that. So why not keep it real, upset somebody, tell them something they don't want to hear
Yeah.
so you can be honorable at the end of the day. And on top
Oh, yeah, and I think we need that. It's integrity, it's hard, and I would rather be with somebody, I mean, that is going to hurt my feelings because guess what? They're probably right. Like,
yeah.
if I am out of line, tell me because I might not see it, and if somebody really is on your team
Mhm.
and they have your best
Yeah.
interest and vice versa,
Mhm.
you need to have that
Yeah.
because that's I mean, and that's a good person that can actually say, "Hey, you're wrong." Like,
You're
"That's
wrong.
wrong." Yeah.
Tell me straight up, like, everyone I have in my life right now is brutally honest. I'm even, like, drawn to men that are more like, just say it bluntly.
Mhm.
I speak with finesse, but that's just me. However, I'm still gonna boldly tell you when I need to tell you, but, like, everyone keeps it stupid real with me, and, they're always right on the money. You're the same way in our work relationship. You're like, "Oh, girl, we're not doing that. We're gonna do
Mhm.
this instead. We're not gonna pull back. We're gonna keep going and we're gonna stay in there." You remind me, you've always been successful. You knew this came with the territory when we'd start something new. You probably forgot because we're so successful in the other places we once started from scratch in. And you like remind me and you give it to me like so real and me just like being able to deepen my relationship with you, especially through the divorce when, I cracked and opened up to you. You were just
Well, yeah.
everything to me. You were so like it filled my soul because I had been holding that in and I don't tell people when I'm suffering. I go quiet. So it was like really it just I'll work with you for life. We're not going nowhere.
Well, I hope that I can always be a safe space for you. It's like
Mm.
just even doing this, like on a friendship level. I know that we keep talking about a girls' trip and
Yeah.
life happens and we're both like crazy busy and we'll make it happen. But like I feel like you need positive women
Yes.
and men too in your life. And I don't want to be like, oh, I'm a women's only person. Like I genuinely want everyone that I come across in their path if I'm spending time with somebody, if I'm not a good fit for somebody and they don't like my personality because I am direct, like, and you know that, like, and I try to be kind to my words and I try to be respectful, but I also don't wanna beat around the bush because I don't think any of us have time for that, especially in business. Like, this is how things need to be and they need to go a certain way and we need to stay positive and move forward. And I definitely think that you're on the best track and then you look the best I've seen. I know you're a lot happier and I know we're working on getting so many new business goals and everything going right now. So I'm super excited for you about that. And then I also just wanna let you know, like, as somebody that's worked with you and, like, been in your life now for as long as I have, like, I feel like you have such a calmness about you now,
Oh,
again, which I love to see.
It feels good. You know, life is truly controlled chaos. I think that in owning you're never going to not be in survival mode because that's what keeps you hungry. That's what keeps you going. And having kids, even when they get older, and even though they're old enough to really do so much on their own now at this point, no matter what, being a mom, whether they're young, whether they're old, that takes like a lot of your time. But I've learned how to balance things. And even though a lot of people would rather be married for stability, to have that other income, and how much all my friends are like, you need to date a rich man, a rich man, a rich man to make it easy for you. And I love them. I love them for wanting that for me. But I always tell them, like, nobody is coming to save me. I am going to be my own rich man. I am.
Mhm.
You know, I said, "You just wait and see what happens with this next location I just opened, and once that one gets running, I'm gonna open another one and open another one, and when I'm done, I'm gonna sell this thing, and I'm gonna be somewhere in Bali. I'm gonna be walking around barefooted in a jungle, grounding in nature, going to the temples. I don't know what I'm gonna be doing. Sun's out, buns out, sipping on a coconut somewhere. I'm gonna do whatever I wanna do, the way I wanna do it."
I mean, grind, have fun, and experience. And I feel like so many people that go "Oh, I'm scared. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do this."
Yeah.
You know, if you're gonna self-doubt yourself, then I don't wanna work with you. Like,
No, me
I wanna work with people that want to say, "Oh, I don't know about this, but let's go," you know, because that's when magic happens. When
yeah.
you have the mess, when you have that if you have the ability to say, "I can do it.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
going to do it,"
So you have to be
and you
insane.
do. Yeah. To be able to pour it all in it and be like, "Okay, I'm" like, right now with the podcast thing, I'm like, "I don't know what I was you know, but I'm doing it."
You're
And
so
it's
good, by
I
the way.
well,
You're
thank you.
so
I
good
don't
with
know. I've
it.
never but I'm like, I'm just doing it because there's so many people that I know, and we all need to, like, share on a public and an platform and inspire each other. And instead of this like fear mongering of, oh my gosh, you have to only share this or you,
Mhm.
that's not life, you know? Like I love social media, like I've said, to be able to share like experiences, travel, like the kids, things like that. But like what people don't know is like how hard shit is, you know? And like
They don't
really
see that
sometimes,
part. They never
yeah,
see that part. They only
and
see
it's
that out.
relatable, like, if people come into you, like, they can maybe relate to you and go, "Nicole, like, I had no idea, like, wow, you know, like, I'm so happy to know you, and I'm going through something right now, and how did you do this?" You know, like, I really feel like you even like you're saying swipe and everyone's looking and swiping. People need to slow down and take a minute to, like, listen,
And it's not even
and
some of their faults because it's
yeah,
the way that we've been conditioned. We've been conditioned to, like, with all these things, and there's some really good people, but it's like, this is the culture that's been created, and some people really found purpose in dating online. And but the options, the unlimited options is like, how do you know? How can you focus on something to know if it's divine? You know, if you're just in it for the thrill, get it. Enjoy. Nothing wrong with that. But there's a lot of people
yeah.
posing that they want to be intentional, and that's just to get what they want from you. And some girls are just as bad. They're like worse. Women are like out here destroying guys. They really are. I feel for some of these men too. So
Well, I mean, we can talk about the ruthless sides of both aspects because I see it all. And I have three brothers. And I think that our society has changed so much too that it's kind of hurt men to a certain
it
effect too,
does.
because I think a lot of men feel demasculated. They don't feel like they are really as I mean, just back in our day when we were growing up, I
It's
mean, it
not
was
the
like
same.
you needed a man. Like, yeah, it's like, do I need a man? No, but do I want a man? Yeah. And even like friends of mine that are like or whatever,
Mhm.
I'm like, they still want the same things too, you know what I mean? Like,
Very
it's just such
true.
a different, like, thing of, like, the or time that people are trying to, like, cultivate, like, and change things and narratives, and I'm like, you know so
It's
I think it's
crazy.
a weird time. It's a weird time for everybody,
It
and then
is.
this rolling. Why wouldn't I do a podcast? If I'm gonna be on social media and have a voice, why wouldn't I help my friends, people I know, and just give people some enlightening content to listen to and look at rather than this fake AI bullshit all the time.
What I love about you more than anything is your aura is amazing. You're extremely I can't even explain it, but you're so pure and you're a force to be reckoned with in the purest of ways. So you don't give off any insecurities in any way. You're extremely focused and driven. You always have a plan. You always see the bigger vision. You never get caught up in nonsense noise. You really do lead with your confidence and being able to see the bigger picture and the finish line. And that is so hard to do. And what people don't know about you, like your life is like a movie. It's so cool. And I just when I saw that you were doing this, I was like, holy shit. If people only knew like you're huge on the internet. Like you're gonna blow up, okay? We're gonna put everybody else to shame with your podcast, you know. This is my first
I
one.
love you. Thank you.
I love you too. I mean, this being my first podcast, like I was a little, shy. But
Well, no, it's good, and this is, like, my first time I've never been I was invited to go on a few others, and I said, "You know what? I'm gonna do my own. Why would I do someone else's
yeah.
podcast? Like, if I already have a presence, like, why am I gonna grow other people's when I can do my own?" And I have awesome people and friends and clients, and it doesn't make sense for me to do that right now,
Yeah.
so I'm grateful that I have the space to be able to introduce amazing women, entrepreneurs, telling the real freaking grit of the story too, Nicole, like, because
Yeah.
it's not always rainbows and butterflies. I wish it was, and trust me, I it's not, and I know I've been through a lot of shit in my life too. So, and I love the fact that you and I vibe, like, we don't judge. Like, I mean, I literally can have a crackhead walk up to me and I would be like, is it hard for you? Like, do you need help?" Like, I don't judge
I love
anybody, and I think it's even harder if you can get through whatever, like abuse, neglect, drugs, addiction, whatever.
because it's rare to be able to want to know people's story and see why and how and learn about them because so many people are very one directional and they think only their way is their way and their perception of others is their way. I'm like, these are walking souls. They all have
Yeah.
lived quite a life and maybe one that you could be inspired by, and
Yeah.
while I couldn't really like thoroughly get into my childhood, most of it is because I've mind erased it, which is actually a trauma response. So I really couldn't give you too many details because not remembering has saved me. So forcing it out of my brain has truly helped me cope. And so I'm just glad.
So, I mean, but that's good for you to do
Yeah.
that. Like, I mean, I have a really photogenic memory, Nicole, and one thing
So
so I'm very dyslexic, and when I grew up, people like I'm gonna say this, and I know it's like PC, maybe incorrect or whatever, but I don't know a better way to say it, so I'm just gonna say it, and I'm hoping no one's offended. But like I grew up in a time where I was like so dyslexic, I think people thought I was like really retarded. Like I had to stay after school, I couldn't read a book. I couldn't even like remember the magazines Bop?
yeah.
Remember
Yeah.
those well, I was open from the back. Like, I never did anything normal. Like, and I didn't know how. Like, and so I think from such a young age, like growing up like that, where people literally thought there was like, I was that like just stupid, dumb, like kind of, I really wasn't. I couldn't read. I still don't read great now. I force myself to read a few books a year now because it's good for me and I need to. But
But you
I
don't
do
crutch. You do everything still and you do it damn good, even though that
well,
was
thank you. But I think that trauma, like, from being raised like that and, like, I mean, I went to, like, a special school for a minute, like, my brother went to I mean, because I didn't know how to deal with we didn't have when we were growing up, it was like, "Oh, you're either a good kid or you're a bad kid. You're, dumb or you're smart, or you're hanging out with, like you're either with the good kids or the bad kids." Like, there was no it was just never like now everyone's so, correct about everything, but, so I just feel like we grew up in such a different time, and I kind of am thankful for that, and I'm thankful that you're able to also know your limits, and, like, I have no problem talking about whatever, but I do remember everything, and to that, there's so much I wish I did not remember. Another thing too, you say that we have a cool life, well, that's why we've made it, right? Like, I feel like you have to make your
Mhm,
vision. Like, you come to me, Nicole, and you say, "Jen, I wanna do this." And I go, "Okay, well, let's do it." And you go, "Well, I don't know if I can." I don't ever hear a, "I don't know." I always say, "No, we can, but are you ready?"
mhm,
You make sure you're ready, and when you're ready, we're doing it. Like, that's how I've always lived my life because I always have known that there has never been if I think about something, I do it.
yep,
It's impulsive, and I think sometimes for some people it doesn't work because they're
mhm,
focusing on the wrong but when I'm focusing on building, I just do it because I know that there's no option for me not to do it, if that
mhm.
makes sense. So when someone's in my corner and I will make sure that it's gonna work for you too. Like, I just don't ever see the failure an option. When I see people go, "Oh my gosh, Jen, I can't believe that you're gonna take your kids to Mexico. I can't believe you're gonna do this." And I look at them and I go, "Do you even have a passport? Are you watching AI? Is this true?" Like, I just don't feel like the reality and maybe I'm stupid, maybe I'm ignorant, I don't know,
You're not stupid and you're not ignorant. Stop.
but I just I really appreciate you sticking with me and, like, trusting me because
Of course, are you kidding me?
I feel like I really want this vision for everybody, and I hope that anybody watching this can understand that no matter who you are, where you come from, I don't care if you're a trust fund baby, if you have lost anything, if you
Mhm,
were stupid like me and you thought you were stupid or you can't read or you know, like I really had to work really hard. And I would say I have one option, Nicole, and that's to prove to myself that I'm not stupid because I was grown up thinking that I was ugly, I was stupid, nobody liked me, nobody wanted me. I was a problem. I was never loved, like, that's how I grew up, you know, and I was told that. I was told I was an ugly duckling. "Oh, you're ugly. One day you might turn into a swan, but you're ugly." Like your fa you know, so I don't feel like I have an option to ever fail. To me, it's like, no, I know I'm not, and I'm proving that.
oh, you're gonna make me cry. When I
But
see, like
I think
yeah,
that's power though, right? Like
it
when
is,
you can
yeah, it is. When you see people like you and people like if people only had a glimpse inside of the things that we've dealt with and we've accomplished, and a lot of the reasons why I'm not getting too into things is because I wanna kinda protect my mom because I just don't think she can handle me talking about this.
No, I know, and it's hard for me too because about family. It's always about the family, right? You don't wanna and they don't have a choice, like, sometimes.
Yeah, and I think the most important thing too is, like, when you say that people talk about, "Well, I dealt with this in my childhood, so this is why I do this," or they ruin people because hurt people sometimes hurt people. When you
Yeah.
see people like us, we're far and few that have truly became beautiful souls, it's, like, deeply touching because in the past is dead, it's gone, and
Mhm.
all you have is what are you gonna do with it? Take it, turn it into fuel. Every single day, me versus me. I don't give a shit about what anyone else is doing. It's me versus me. I have to beat that and care for that inner child and care for that person and love that person. You know, sometimes I do like mirror talking. It's like
Yeah.
you know what I'm talking about. When you like look at yourself,
Yeah. Yeah.
you look
Yeah.
at yourself in your eyes and, like, those things are really important, and I know that you're really into the kinda stuff too. And
Yeah,
we're
for sure. I think it's important because it's self-love.
Mhm, and it's just so beautiful to see people that truly just took it by the balls and loved themselves like no tomorrow. Like, loving yourself is truly a lifetime project, especially when you're undoing so many foul things that happened to you.
Yes.
And being a parent is also fulfilling and healing, but it is also under this trauma as well because it'll help you you remember certain things.
Do you ever feel okay, so this is my struggle, Nicole, and I'll keep it real for sure on
Thank
this.
you.
sometimes Todd will say things like, "Jen, I feel like you don't like, you're nice to everyone and you are he's like, "But you're never, like, mean." And I'm like, "Well, I can be mean,
Yeah.
and I think I can cut deep if I want to, but why would I do that?" And he goes, "But you," he's like, you just you really, like, can cut someone off. Like, if you want to, you can just you're done." And I'm like,
Calmly too. Calmly.
yeah, I don't know if it's a good thing or not, but do you ever, I mean, and it's really odd. Like, I'm definitely one of those people that, like, I wanna be nice to everyone and give everyone the benefit of the doubt, and I want, because I genuinely think that everybody is good, because I know they're not, but I always think everybody's good, but the second I see that one bad, it's almost like you can see someone's eyes change, like,
Mhm.
it's like their soul. The
Mhm.
second I see that in someone, I immediately am
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty soft.
like,
I'm pretty soft by nature, and a few times it's taken me longer than I can admit to myself what I already know, which is I've already came to a conclusion about someone, but at some way I formed a slight bit of an attachment to the idea of their full potential, or I'll be in a little bit of denial, but deep down you always know. Just always move with grace the way you are. That's all I try to do, but let me tell you, like, I really embrace all the times that I've been hurt. I've just compiled it to just continue to be a good person. However, I'm smart as hell as far as
you are smart. Like, I will
that.
say, if I ever need to write a book or an essay, I'm gonna have you, like, help me with my words,
You're
because I
so
am not
I'll do
not like
it.
the best. As far as English, okay, that was, like, my worst, that's the hardest subject, okay? Like, I have a stepsister, and she was so, like, straight A's, right? She never had to study. I was a person that always wanted to have straight A's, and I had a really good GPA, but I had to study. Like, I had to. I'm not, it was not natural. Street smarts, though, I think, and, like, wit, I think is very different than education in school, right?
I've definitely got some street smarts on me, and, like, I've just been deceived so much that, like, I
Mhm.
now know in the back of my mind that anyone is capable of doing it. I don't put so much pressure on people in here, but I still will not stick around for any bad stuff that's bad, you know?
No. Yeah.
Like, I know in the back of my mind that I've seen great people with a perfect track record do something completely off the wall. So when people say, "My life is set up and I'm doing this person's that and that person's this," I'm like, "You know what? You just need to hope that it stays that way, and hopefully it does, but also don't be stupid either." You know,
Exactly.
like, keep one eye open with everyone.
Yes.
Always.
Well, people can get shady, and you gotta check in. That's what I love about you. You're good. You check in. You make sure your side of the street is clean. And I think that a lot of that on my aspect, Nicole, has to do with, I'm not like, I don't go to AA or anything like that, but I'm really big on my spirituality and, like,
Oh, yeah. Same.
my, um, aura, and I'm really good, and that's why I love my horse, because it's like when things get really crazy or I feel like maybe I'm off touch, is really good for me, and like you said, with nature and being from Washington, I don't know if it's like an
Right.
evergreen state thing or whatever, but, like, for me, when I can go to my horse and just go on a trail ride, it really helps me with my clarity, it helps me in my mental space, and I'm able to really come back to, like, a
Yeah.
center, which I'm really grateful for, but I don't think a lot of people have that. Like, I think a lot of people get so stuck on, like, the
You get,
scrolling
like, really
or
you've got a whole horse?
what?
You have a horse?
Yeah, Boomerang.
Oh, you've made it. You've made it, girl.
No, Boomerang, he's crazy. He's a blue-eyed paint, and yeah, I got him, he's about 6, the kids go 6, 7, yeah,
Aw.
and yeah, no, he's good. I grew up writing, so I figured why not get back into it while I can. I didn't know I was gonna be training a horse, a young horse like I am, but that's okay. But yeah, it really centers me, and that's where I find my solitude is when I'm
Oh,
on the trail.
for that, to know that you have an outlet, I love that. I go to the
We
forest.
all well, for you, you go to the gym, right? Well, for me, I teach. I'm an instructor on the side, like I used to be, and I still sub sometimes. But when I work out, Todd even says, "Is Jen, you're like freaking." He laughs. He's like, "You're like my little crackhead." He's like, "You start working out, and you're."
That is
It gets those endorphins going, and I start getting. That's why I think I'm good at instructing because when I start working out, I'm like, "Ooh," and it just gets me to the next level. So I need more of those things that are, like, grounding and, like, having a young horse is good too because it helps.
I think, yeah, sorry, anytime I look down, I'm just doing the phone
No, you're okay.
for work. Don't
Well, I definitely appreciate what would your takeaway be for anybody listening to this podcast about your journey of life, how you've gotten here, the amazing success that you have and that you're having, and also the ups and downs. Like what would be the lowest point in in your life, would you say, so far?
the lowest point in my
Yeah.
life? I mean, gosh, I mean, I don't know, I feel like we fall and we get back up again so many times, and, it's so hard.
You have one point in your life, though, that you think was the hardest part for you to actually pick your feet up? And this is a good question because it's hard because I know we've all had those moments, but what is and you don't have to say exactly like what into detail, but what would you say?
I would definitely say my lowest, beyond without a shadow of a doubt, what the starting over post-divorce, because it had been so long that I had had a dual income within the home, but it's not
Mhm.
just that. It's the fact that I'm having overhead of 9,000, you know, 8,000 or maybe even more with all the businesses at the time that I had taken over, and it was so intimidating to have to do that on my own, and now when I moved, keep in mind I don't have any family out here. So when I moved, I'm trying to put myself back together as I am processing what the F just happened and the fact that I literally left a whole almost 10-year marriage, and you need quiet, you need solitude to make that happen, and I did not get a lick of quiet, I did not get a lick of solitude, all I had was constant pulling at me, nagging at me, and not only that, but I'm now responsible for putting 3 other people back together because it was such a sudden change for them too, and that was a lot. That was a lot, because they needed they had to learn, they had to, grasp, they had to go through it, and they're teens. So I was dealing with mood swings, I was dealing with the nines. So that was my lowest. That was my absolute lowest that I can think of to date, was just taking on the machine of business with this that is a whole different ball game. And I was awarded the business, so it was all on me. And then I learned how to balance it beautifully. But that was lowest. Not having a moment to scream into a pillow if I wanted to. Um, for the longest, that was the hardest part in here. It was all in here.
Yeah.
I felt like I was gonna lose my ever loving mind, and somehow I didn't. But when you're like close to the edge, and you're like, I could go crazy, but I'm not. But you're like, "Oh, I'm dancing with it, but I'm not."
You watched the show Snapped on the Oxygen channel? Yeah, like, the moms that you're like, "That mom was crazy. She drove her car and with her kid," and I'm like, "Gosh, we would never do it," but I'm like, I see how these women do it, though. Like, I would never be there, but I get it. Yeah. So you
Yeah,
were on a verge. Yeah, for sure.
I was like, if
There's
I can
almost
get
glimpses you can see where you're like, "Okay, I pulled myself out of it, but I almost saw myself doing something
right,
really stupid."
damn, if I was a real crazy bitch, this would
Yeah.
happen. But because I'm
Yeah.
not, I'm gonna go for a walk, I'm gonna go out for a little bit, but I felt
Mhm.
like I did not have a chance to breathe because everyone was extra after the situation. And I keep it so real with my kids. Like, this has also helped them mature and have a chance to see life and get life. I keep it totally real with them. I'm like, I'm dating now. I don't wanna I don't wanna grow old alone. I don't even like to use the word old because we timeless around here, but I always tell them straight up,
Honey, you are like fine wine. You're getting better with age.
"Same to
And
you."
you know what? The best thing about that is I think that you're beautiful. and you have wisdom now. Like, I feel like we need to stop saying like, "Oh, we're getting," you know what?
Yeah.
You're growing, and that's the beauty of getting older, is that we're growing and we know more now, right?
Same
We
with
have the wisdom.
you. Our value is increasing by the day, you know? And thank you. And I told them, I said, I am gonna be dating. You guys are so up in my life and around the corner. You may meet someone if I get serious with them, but you guys know you already have a dad, and I'm not trying to make anyone your dad. They're just gonna be like
Yeah.
a cool friend that you are gonna respect. But I've got big kids now at this point. They're not babies. They do their own thing. I'm becoming less and less like cool to them, because they love me very much, but they've got their own lives. They truly
Isn't that
love.
so sad though? Like, oh my gosh, that's like a whole nother episode. Our babies, like we pour all this energy for them, but it's good that you're showing you're a perfect example of what your kids are looking up to and who you're defining them, because they are turning into their own humans now,
They
and
are. It's
they are going to look at you and go, wow,
I love the
fuck,
pieces.
you did a lot of shit. Like, now
Yeah,
my mom's she's running all these businesses, she's got a hot guy, like,
yeah,
she's like, "Look at all the shit she did." Like, "Mom, can you help me start a business?" Like, "Mom,
yeah,
can I come work for you maybe and
yeah.
show me," like, you have a lot of power, the cards are in your hand, and I don't want you to ever forget
They
that.
really
Like,
are.
yeah,
We always
that's
have the
huge.
power we always have the power of choice. We always have the power to recreate ourselves as many times as we want, and if we don't like something, we can fix it, and I just told myself, "Listen, I'm not gonna keep, like, hiding my life from the kids. They're not little babies anymore," and I'm like, "Listen,
Yeah.
I been single for a long time and I want to meet
Mhm.
someone. And you guys also aren't little babies anymore. You guys have a dad. You guys have all that going on for you. And if I bring someone around, like I said, I'll explain to them what it is, what it isn't, but you'll always be respectful, which they are. They're phenomenally sweet kids. They're respectful. I mean, their former step their former dad was in the military for how
Yeah.
many years? His whole life. Like they are yes, ma'am, no, ma'am.
Well, and that's one thing that's amazing about being in the military. Yeah, you have to have a few
Yeah,
few screws loose, I feel like, to be in that realm, but
you don't
if you
play.
do it right, especially when you make officer, your
Mhm.
kids are gonna grow up. They're gonna know how to make their bed. They're gonna know how
Yep,
to tuck the corners in.
yep,
They're gonna know how to say, "Yes, ma'am," "No, sir."
mhm.
There's no, "Uh-huh." It's, "Excuse me, what was that?" "Yes, please."
Yes.
Manner.
Yeah, and they'll test me once in a while because I am so much softer than their
Mhm.
dad. I really am kind of soft.
I
But
I'm different. I'm, like, so different with it. I love my kids. I can get smooshy with them, but I'm very, like, also, like, even their friends, they come over, even these little 6, 7-year-olds coming over to my house and like, "I want this," and
it's
I
like,
look
"Yeah,
at
get
these
out of my
kids,
pantry." That's what I cannot will come over.
I go, "Excuse me, what? You want what? How do you say it?" Well, and their moms will be there, and I'm like, "I'm sorry, your kids are gonna get a lesson right now. How do you
For
ask for
you.
something?" And my boys will go, "May I please?" And I'm like, and they'll look at their moms or parents and like, "Her house, her rules." I'm like,
Yeah.
"Thank you. May I please?" "Yes, you may."
I love
Like,
that.
I will not let any
Good.
children come into this house. I will let anyone, all walks of life, come in
Yeah.
here. They are gonna respect the house. They're gonna be, well-mannered, and that's huge that your kids have that. I
Thank
appreciate that.
you. But they also have, like, the silliest goofball of a mom ever, and my son was on his Oculus because he has, like, a big channel, and he's an influencer, and
Uh-huh.
he was like I made a funny, like, noise in the background just to see if I'd embarrass him or not, and he was like, "Hey, guys, that's my mom." He's like, "She's a little weird, but she's really cool." I'm like
Oh, that's cute.
every day my son is like, I love you so much, mom. Thank you for all you've ever done for us. He tells me that like every day. And he was the one that was actually taking everything hard. But, like my biggest takeaway is number one, I'd say divorce is scary. Traditionally, we want to marry for life. We really do. But I didn't realize how brave I was until everyone around me was like, "You have no idea how brave you are. We all, like, wish we could do that. We wish we could do that." And I'm just in my mind, I'm like, "It was not easy." But just starting over and reconfiguring
Mhm.
your life with where I was at, with everything. But you can do absolutely anything, and I think another thing I'd like to say to people before I have to go is, have some grace on one another. Stop being so damn judgmental. Shut your trap. You're no better than anyone else. Everyone has a soul. Everyone has a life. Everyone has a story. Live your life and let people live theirs. If you don't like something they're doing, you have the power to move around, to pivot and do something else. But just the gossip, it's all old. Nobody cares. Like, just thrive. Find yourself a dream team that motivates the shit out of you, and you need to do the same and live your life unapologetically. Don't live in fear. Don't care what anyone says, and just literally protect your energy like you never have before, because
Exactly.
time is short.
100%.
Do that shit with
I love that.
Yep.
And I'm so excited for you, Nichole. I'm really excited to see what this next
We're gonna do
chapter
it. So we're gonna go on
there.
a girls'
Yeah,
vacation.
we're doing it. And we're also gonna do a girls trip. I have a good idea. I think that we need to do a smash room.
Oh my god, I would love to go to a good one though.
Yeah, I know. Okay. Well, I really appreciate you being on the pod, and Nichole, I'm gonna go ahead and give all of your info so people know how to get a hold of
Oh,
you,
yes!
and
Please do.
I love you to pieces. Thank you so much, and I hope you have an amazing week.
Oh, yeah, let
Ugh,
me tell people
uh,
the businesses real quick.
yes,
Yeah, okay. So if you guys know anybody, this is like infomercial music. Do you have
here we go.
Okay, if you or anybody you know has head lice, it can be a very embarrassing situation. But me and my
Yeah.
crew at my clinics, we just get it over with. We know it's embarrassing. We're not going to freak you out. We're going to get it gone right away. No follow-up appointments. It's the best service. All of the girls are super sweet, great with kids. You will love them, literally, and walk out lice free. And by the way, lice is not dirty. It's literally everyone catches it. We treat all the cool people, all the popular parents, all the popular kids. They all catch lice. It's not a dirty thing. It's literally it's just a gift that keeps on giving, and it's head-to-head contact. So,
It is. It's like a dog getting fleas, but for kids, and adults, and it spreads. It's really, what do? You eliminate it, you get it out, right?
yes, you can find my businesses. They're LCA San Diego, LCA York County, and LCA Orlando. So we have the San Diego areas, the Carolinas, and Orlando. So if you need lice removal, we have you covered. Support my biz.
Nichole, I love you. I appreciate you for being on the podcast. And you heard it right from the source. If you or anybody you know has any sort of head lice or anything and you need help with it, contact Nichole. Also, reach out to me if you have any questions and I will give you her contact. Love you, Nichole.
Love you too. Bye.
All right. Bye.
Bye, honey.
This episode is brought to you by Real Reach Digital, where SEO meets AI to grow your business. Thank you so much for listening and spending time with me. As always, keep it real and see you next week.